Welcome, Maurice. Two great Swiss watches from two of the biggest names in the watch industry. Let's compare them. Starting with the dimensions, the Aqua Terra comes in at 41mm with a lug width of 20mm, a lug-to-lug of 47.5mm, and a thickness of 13.5mm. It has a screw-down crown with 150 meters of water resistance and 60 hours of power reserve, and runs at -0 to +5 seconds a day. The Air King has a diameter of 40mm with a lug width of 21mm, a lug-to-lug of 47.3mm, and a thickness of 11.7mm. It also has a screw-down crown, but only 100 meters of water resistance, but it does have 70 hours of power reserve and runs at -2 to +2 seconds a day. Looking at the case, the Aqua Terra exhibits many curves and valleys, demonstrating a design that is eye-catching and intricate. The Air King, however, is very simple in comparison. It feels one-dimensional but purpose-built, yet there's an elegance exuded from its simplicity. When looking head-on, the Aqua Terra commands detail and depth, while the Air King is sharp and precise. Both watches feature brushing and polishing, however, the application differs greatly. The Aqua Terra accentuates its case with polished accents along the signature twisted lugs and bezel, and is flanked with brushed sides and inner bevels. This provides a nice balance of both brushed and polished. The Air King is predominantly brushed, making it great for daily wear and suits the no-nonsense design of the watch, with polishing found only on the bezel, case sides, and crown guards. Taking a look at the bracelets, the Aqua Terra continues that balance of brushed and polish, with brushed flanks and polished center links. A stark contrast from the full brushed finish on the Air King's Oyster bracelet. The end links are also opposites, with female end links on the Aqua Terra and male end links on the Air King. One of the things I noticed was the way these end links connect to the case. The Aqua Terra bracelet fits well and tries to continue the twisting curve of the lugs, but when you place it next to the Air King, you get a sense of refinement that comes from the Oyster bracelet. The end links transition much smoother on the Air King, tucking away nicely under the bezel to create a seamless look, and the continued brushed finish make the bracelet feel at home and cohesive. The design of the bracelet matches the design of the case, and it's hard to beat. The Aqua Terra, however, it tells a different story. It boasts a magnificent case, showcasing great architecture and design language, yet the bracelet lacks the same substance. It's flat, two-dimensional, and quite boring when compared to the watch head. It really feels like Omega exhausted all of their creativity on the case and just slapped together a bracelet. It really doesn't feel like it belongs. Looking at the clasp, we find a butterfly style on the Aqua Terra and an oyster lock clasp on the Air King. Both feel secure. However, the butterfly is much slimmer than the oyster, so it will feel more comfortable, but the trade-off is quite significant. With the oyster lock, you get micro adjustment built in. It is hard to reach, but it is there. And you also get a 5mm easy link extension, making it easy to achieve a perfect fit. Whereas on the butterfly, you get no such features, and you have to fiddle around with half links and full links to get your desired size. The dials on these watches are quite unique. We have a full coloured textured dial on the Aqua Terra versus hints of colour on a plain dial on the Air King. The Aqua Terra sports a horizontal teak pattern, which I find pairs well with the olive green colour, appropriate of the name Aqua Terra or sea and land. The Air King has a deep black dial, simple with no effects, but compensates through contrast with a vibrant green and yellow logo and playful Air King text. The hour markers is where both watches really show their identity. The Aqua Terra has triangular, multifaceted indices with intricate brushing and polishing, reminiscent of teeth, giving it an aggressive appearance and contrasts nicely with the soft, curvy case. The Air King features a mix of printed and applied numerals in an unorthodox fashion, with multiples of 5 being printed and the 3, 6 and 9 being applied. The hands of the Aqua Terra follow suit with the rest of the watch and complement each other well. They carry brushed and polished surfaces with an arrow-like design to match the pointed theme of the indices. The Air King carries Rolex's signature Mercedes hands, which are iconic, but don't have the same level of detail found on the Aqua Terra, much like the rest of the watch. Both watches have spectacular movements, expertly finished and beautiful, but only one can be seen. The Aqua Terra allows for full view of the 8900 movement thanks to the display caseback, whereas you're left with the standard Rolex solid caseback on the Air King, hiding the 3230 caliber. The Aqua Terra makes up for lack of features in the bracelet with added features in the movement. It has a jumping hour function to make it a worthy companion when traveling, and a date function for daily wear. The Air King, on the other hand, is a standard time only movement. So how do they wear? They're both sporty watches, and their composition definitely reflects that. However, the Aqua Terra is much more versatile. Its polished surfaces and uniform indices, coupled with a dynamic case, allow it to be dressed up or down. The Air King, on the other hand, is quite one-dimensional in its use. It's a sports watch, plain and simple. It'll be good for casual occasions, but it won't fit in for formal occasions. Which one would you prefer to have? Now, I absolutely love both of these watches, and I couldn't decide, so I got both. Let me know what you think in the comments and what you would choose. And don't forget to subscribe for more watch content. I'll see you in the next one.